Hello, today's going to be a quick build. We're going to build a Keurig K-Cup holder. I designed this to make my Keurig cups nice and neat and fit in my drawer and not move around. So let's get started. This is what the design will look like when we're done. We're going to start a brand new design and we're using Onshape. So let's go to Onshape. We are using a free subscription. Let's go to Create, Document. Okay, we're going to start on our top view right here. So we're going to click Sketch, Top, and let's click Top view over here. We'll click and hold and drag that in. All right, so there's our top view. So now we need to get this sized properly. So mine is 3x4. You can make this size whatever you want. So I'm just going to start with my 3x4 design, and here we go. All right, we're going to start off with a center point rectangle. Let's click on there. Let's go with about 215 by 162. So let's kind of generally put it there. Left click, confirm that. We're going to hover over this. We're going to type in 215, enter, and then hover over that one, and we're going to put 162, enter. That locks it. It's black. Black means it's fully constrained, so it is coming from the origin and it is constrained. So that's exactly what we want. Now we're going to work on a fillet in this corners, and we're going to click here, click left, click there, and we're going to type in 28. So 28, enter. We're going to do this to the rest of them. Okay, and we can actually finish this sketch. We can extrude that. So let's finish that guy. Let's rotate this a little bit. Let's go over here to extrude. Let's grab that. We're going to make this like 2 millimeters thick. Okay, green check. Now we're going to put the holes on the top surface. So let's create another sketch on this top. Now top here. Now let's create our first circle. So the first circle is going to be here, and we're going to go with 47 millimeters diameter. Okay. Now let's put this into position. Let's click on our distance here. Left here. Click there. We're going to go with 28, and then same thing from here to here. 28. All right. So that is the size of our Keurig K-Cup. Now we can put in like a silhouette of the maximum size of that Keurig cup. So that's just like a top lip. And I'll put that in D for there. And I'm going to put that at 52. So we don't want to go above 52 at all. And then we want to undo that. We're going to click here. We're going to click construction. So that makes it so where it won't be extrudable. Okay, that's exactly what we want. So now we want to take this and we want to move it over. So we're going to create a linear pattern. We're going to click on this guy and this guy, and then we can scroll this guy over here, and let's go with 53. 2 times click on that guy, 53. And that shows us that this dotted line is not touching, so we're good. We still have a little bit of clearance in between there, so that's good. And we're going to go with 4 times. So let's go over here. Let's find that 4 right there. Double click on that guy, hit 4, and that fits it in perfect position. Now we can actually do this again. Let's finish this guy, left click. And now we can take these and move them down. So let's do another linear pattern. And this linear pattern, we can click there and there. All of these. So, and then we're going to take this guy and actually we're going to take that guy and roll him down, straight down. Okay. And we want them perfectly horizontal. We want them to be sticking with that right there. Yep. And then I can adjust this, 53. Okay. And we can see, yep, looks good. Not sure if it actually made it perfectly straight down. I'm hoping it did. We'll double check in a second. All right, let's green check that. All right, let's show that sketch to, I want to see that. Let's hide that first part. We're going to click on this eyeball and hide that. So there's our size. Let's check and make sure that these are in line. So we're going to go with measure that dot with this dot, and we want to see no movement in the X, which actually there is some movement in the X, so that means we did this incorrectly. We don't want to see any movement in the X, and looks like we have some movement in the X there. So let's fix those. So what we're going to do is, let's see if we can click there, and we can click, actually get back in sketch 2. We're going to click this guy, we're going to click vertical. All right, it shifted them all. So that's good, green check. Let's double check that now. So we're going to go measure. We're going to check that point right there with this point. 0, perfect. Let's check with this point. Let's undo that guy right there. Hold down shift and yep, so perfect, 0. All right, so everything looks good now. And we are ready to extrude those holes. Let's click on extrude and click on these holes right here, and we're going to go with remove on these guys. So we hit remove, and we're going to merge that with this part right here, which is that part which is hidden. We're going to click on that face, click on that part, so we can see the holes popping through now. So then we'll continue with the extrusion here. Okay, green check. All those are removed. Now we need to create little pedestals on the back so that it will stand up taller than one of the Keurig K-cups. So let's create something on the bottom here. We're going to create a sketch. Click on the bottom. We're going to click, let's click this center rectangle here. And this will help us choose our 4 points very quickly and easily. So we're going to just eyeball it if we want. So we can go with 108. Hover over this. 108, enter. And then we'll hover over this guy right here and we'll go with 54. Enter. Okay, that looks pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're going to create a center point circle. Click on that right there. We're going to drag that out, and we just don't want this circle to interfere with the other guys, but we can make this, whatever size we want pretty much, as long as it's not hitting other things. So let's hit a D on here, and we'll make this, let's say 15 sounds good, and then we'll do the rest. So these are circles. Click on the circle. Let's go with this, and then just hover over there. 15, enter. Click. Click again, hover, 15, enter. It's over constrained, so we'll fix that in a second. Click here, ding, and then slide over here, 15, enter. Perfect. Let's see what's going on over here. So I'm not sure why. I'm going to get out of that circle, hit escape to get out, and one of these is over constrained. Let me click on that, delete. There we go. There was some sort of tangency going on there. Not sure why I did that. Anyway, so let's click on these lines right here. We're going to make these construction. Right there's construction. So when I did that, they will not extrude now. Green check. We can go with extrude. We can grab these circles that we just created. For some reason it chose something already. So let's go back to extrude. We're going to click on that circle, that one, and this one. All right, and we're going to pull these 44 millimeters down. Yeah. So that should be taller than a Keurig pod. All right, so green check. All right, those are unioned already to this first piece. Let's hide these planes here. We don't need to see them right now. And there's those. Okay, so now we can create some sort of taper going on here. So let's go, and either one we can make a chamfer or a draft. So I like draft. So neutral plane, this is my neutral plane, and then my entities to draft are these cylinders. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's put in a size we want it to taper down to. You can choose what you want, but I'm going to go with that's 3, looks great. Okay, and then we don't want it snapping right here, so we're going to add a nice little chamfer to the edge right there. So click right there on this area right there, and let's chamfer that. 5 looks a little too big. We're going to do with 2. Okay, that will create some strength in that area. So now we put our pods in the very top. They slide right in, and the pod should not touch the ground. These pegs should be touching first, therefore they will float. So that is our Keurig holder. So now that we have this Keurig holder done, we can export this out. So let's left click, right click, and then export. And we can export as a STL. Now that is exporting down into my downloads. All right, I'm in my slicing software now. Let's go find my downloads. And then I will drag and drop that into this area. Okay, and it fits on my 3D printer just fine. Otherwise, it would tell me it's showing me perspective view, so it actually looks like it's out, but it's still okay. It would tell me that it's not working if it didn't fit. If you need to make this into several different pieces, you know, you have to do that in Onshape. So, all right. So that's how you create your Keurig holder. Make it exactly as you want for your desired space. So thanks for watching. Bye.